bit late, so he's asked me to take charge of the training program.
Well, can we fall out and have a bit of a smoke while we're waiting in, Sarge?
No, I'd rather you didn't, if you don't mind.
No, all right.
Tonight, Captain Mannering was going to do a little stalking. That is to say, how to creep up on an enemy sentry in the dark.
Here, you want to get old Taffy to do that? He's the biggest creeper of the lot.
No, just try and settle down, would you, please?
Come off, Joe. But me interested to know that I'm an expert stalker. In fact, at one time I was considered one of the finest stalkers in the Highlands.
You're quite a little chatterbox in the lowlands and all.
All right, now, we want somebody to creep up on.
Permission to speak, sir?
Yes.
I should like to volunteer to be the person you creep up on.
Now, you're always volunteering, George. You know, I think we ought to get somebody else to take the enemy sentry's part.
I should like that. I'd like to take the enemy sentry's part.
No, please, Jones, please. I think we ought to give some of the others a chance sometimes. Now, Godfrey, you can be the enemy sentry, okay. Right? Now, you'll need something to sit on.
Oh, I'd like to volunteer to be something you sit on.
No. Please. Now, would you go and get that chair from Mr. Mannering's office, Godfrey, please? Right, now, Fraser, you seem to know rather more about this than most of us, so perhaps you could, put us in the picture.
I'll do that, Sergeant. Now then, pay attention, everybody. Now then, you approach your quarry from behind, and you always keep downwind of him.
Why'd you do that, Mr. Fraser?
So he doesn't get your scent.
But, Jock, humans don't smell humans.
You're not standing where I am, mate.
A dirty once! Pay attention! Come, let's whistle. Now then, watch me, and I'll give you a demonstration. Stand back. Whistle. Now, I'm creeping up on an enemy sentry at night. Now, you'll notice the way I lift my feet up and put them down very carefully. It's most important to watch where you're putting your feet.
Especially if you're walking through a field of cows.
Walker, please.
As I was saying, you have to be careful where you put your feet. You might step on a dry twig, and then snap, the enemy sentry would be at your throat in a minute.
What's your game? You gone raving mad or something?
It's all right, Joe. Just always remember, though, to watch where you're putting your feet.
I will.
All right, Godfrey, thank you very much. Just bring it on, will you? Just put it down here. That's it. Now sit down. Now, I'd like somebody to volunteer to blindfold him.
I should like to do that. I'd like to blindfold Mr. Godfrey.
No need to get so fussed about it all.
Will you keep leaving me out of everything?
All right, but then just do it, will you? And having done it, just spin him round, will you?
Yeah, right, there we are. There we are.
This reminds me, when I was a child, a game I used to play with my sisters. We called Putting the Tail on the Donkey, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember. That was a good game. They don't play games like that anymore. And do you remember Postman's Knock and Kiss in the Ring? And then we used to play sardines.
I don't think I like sardines.
He didn't like sardines.
No, it's all right. Thank you very much. Now, will you all spread out, please? And when I blow the whistle, I want you to all creep up on Godfrey and give him a little surprise. Now, Godfrey, if you hear anything, I want you to turn round, point your finger, and pretend to shoot. Okay? Well, I think you better have a try. Just spin round, will you? All right, there we go. All right? Pop.
Is that all right, Sergeant?
Well, no, it wasn't quite, but still, I suppose it'll have to do. Right, now, are you all ready now? Right? Here we go.
We've arrived, Mr. Godfrey.
Come on, Godfrey, come on, come along now.
Oh, dear, I must have dropped off. That's because I was in the dark. I've had rather a tiring day waiting at the clinic.
Yes, I'm sure you have, and I think perhaps you ought to try it all over again, and this time I'll be the sentry, all right? Oh, my.
I'll have the whistle.
Yes,
I'll
all
have
right,
the
well,
whistle.
just a minute. You're strangling me.
Yes, all right.
All right.
I'll blindfold you.
Yes, but
see.
if you'll blindfold me, I'll be very grateful. I find that sort of thing very difficult to do on my own. Thank you. Now, is everybody ready?
Yes, ready, right.
All right, as quick as you can.
Ready, there we are.
You.
Now then, Sergeant. Ready to go?
All right.
Right. Everybody ready?
Right.
Bang.
All right, Sergeant, I know I'm dead.
Lord, I'm so sorry, sir. I do beg your pardon. I thought you were the platoon.
Really? Didn't realise I was as heavy-footed as all that. I'd like to see you in the office, please, straight away. It's rather important.
All right, sir, I'll be there. Will you carry on, please, Jones?
Right, I will now. I'm taking the chair this time. Right.
Let's go and have a cup of tea.
That's the best idea you've had tonight. Come on.
Right, everybody ready? Right, let's go.
Shut the door, Wilson, please.
Oh, sorry, sir, yes.
Will you just read this letter?
Yes, sir. It's addressed to you, sir.
I know it is. Read it.
It's from Godfrey, it's funny. Why should he be writing you a letter, sir?
We'll find out.
Dear sir, it is with much regret that I must tender to you my resignation. Owing to personal reasons, I feel that I can no longer remain as a member of the platoon. Therefore, I must ask you to accept my 2 weeks' notice as from the end of the week. I remain, dear sir, your obedient servant, Charles Godfrey. That's a pity. We're going to miss him.
What do you mean we're going to miss him? Can't just leave like that.
Well, I mean, I don't see you've got anything to stop him, sir. He's given you 2 weeks' notice.
This is war, Wilson, not Sainsbury's. Ask him to come in here and explain himself.
Right.
Let's have a look at that rota. Monday, number 1 section on patrol, gasworks, railway bridge, telephone exchange. 22:50, Godfrey puts on kettle. 22:58, Godfrey makes tea, ready for return of patrol at 2300 hours. Tuesday, number 3 section, patrol to Novelty Rock Emporium. Godfrey leaves here 23:30, arrives at Novelty Rock Emporium 23:50, makes tea, ready for arrival of patrol 2400 hours. Oh, no, I couldn't let him go. He's far too valuable.
You wanted to speak to me, sir?
Yes, I did, Godfrey. Sit down, will you, please?
Thank you.
Don't go, Wilson. I may need you.
All right.
Now, Godfrey, what's the meaning of this letter?
I'm afraid it means that I've got to leave, sir.
You mean you're feeling a little too old for active service now?
No, not really.
What then?
Well, the other morning I got up a little earlier than usual. Mind you, I'm usually up about 7:30 because I make the early morning tea. And then I take a cup to my sisters. You know, until recently, we've had some very good tea from the Army Navy stores, but now it's so short ration that we have to put up with almost anything we can get.
I quite agree with you, my dear fellow. The stuff we're getting now is absolutely terrible. I mean, all those terrible little sort of fluffs of tea floating about at the top. It's really horrid, isn't it?
Do you mind?
I beg your pardon. I'm sorry.
Godfrey, what has this got to do with your leaving?
Oh, I'm just coming to that. Now, where was I?
I think you were just about to make the early morning tea.
Oh, yes. Well, I went to the larder to get the milk. And then I saw something that made me realize I just couldn't possibly carry on any longer.
What on earth was that?
A mouse.
Mouse?
Yes. You see, there was a great big pudding basin empty in the larder, and this mouse had fallen into it and was running round and round inside, trying to get out. Of course, I knew I ought to kill it because we were infested by mice. So I managed to grab hold of it, and then, as I held it in my hand, I felt its little heart beating under the fur, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
What did you do?
Well, I took it to the garden and let it go.
Godfrey, I'm still not clear as to what this has to do with your leaving the platoon.
But don't you see, sir, if I couldn't bring myself to kill that mouse, how could I possibly kill a German?
Well, you should have thought of that before you joined the Home Guard.
Yes, but when the Home Guard started, things were so desperate, I thought it'd be different to last time.
Well, things are still desperate, Godfrey. Nazis could invade us at any moment. We need every man we can lay our hands on. What do you mean, different from last time?
The last war, sir. You see, I was a conscientious objector.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You were what?
A conscientious objector.
A conscience? You mean you didn't want to fight?
Well, not really, sir.
No. I can't believe this, Godfrey. I just can't believe it. I think you'd better go home.
Very good, sir. You mean you don't want me to do anything more for you tonight?
No, I don't think you'll. Just go.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry about this, Captain Mannering. I've enjoyed so much being with you all, and I can only hope that my service has given every satisfaction.
Get out.
Sir, don't you think, sir, you're being a little bit harsh?
Harsh? Harsh, Wilson?
Yes.
I find we've been harbouring a damn conch in our midst, and you say I'm being harsh?
Well, a man must follow his own inclination, sir.
Where would the country be if we all felt like that, eh? Okay. Supposing you just finished work at the bank.
Yes.
And you decided to go and have tea with Mrs. Pike. When you arrived there, you found some Nazi stormtrooper forcing his attentions on her. How would you feel then, eh?
Oh, really, sir?
That strikes home, doesn't it? That cuts to the bone.
That's rather an old-fashioned argument, don't you think, sir?
Say I'm old-fashioned. I can't stand cranks. Do you imagine a man not wanting to fight? It isn't normal.
Well, what are you going to do about him, sir?
You know what I'd like to do with him?
What's that?
I'd like to give him the Rogue's March.
Rogue's March.
Used to do that in the British Army, you know, years ago. If a man was a coward or brought disgrace on his regiment, they used to parade him in front of the men, take the gold braid from his hat, strip off his epaulets, tear down his medals, break his sword in half.
You'd hardly be able to do that to Godfrey, sir. He's only wearing a suit of denim.
Yes, all. Get the men on parade.
Well, what are you going to say to them, sir?
I'm going to tell them the truth. I may not be able to tear his epaulets off physically, but by God, I can do it verbally.
I'm nobody's baby.
Hi, Jonesy, what's the idea of this parade, then? I mean, what's the big mystery?
All I know is Mr. Mannering said we've got to come on parade. I think he's going to make a special announcement or... Here. Where's Godfrey?
He went home about half an hour ago. As he was going out, I said, "Where are you going, Mr. Godfrey?" But he didn't answer. I think he had tears in his eyes.
Ah, he's as soft as a cream puff. If I was in Mannering's shoes, by God, I'd give him something to cry about.
Up in the ears, everybody. All right, platoon. Come on, Jones. Platoon. 10, shot!
Steady it, ease. Now, pay attention. In the 14 months that we've been together, we've had to... In the 14 months that we've been together, we've had to put up with many trials and tribulations. What is it, Warden?
You're going to be long.
I don't know. I've got something important to say to the men. I don't... So I was saying, we've had to put up with many trials and tribulations.
What's Napoleon going on about then?
He's got something very important to say to the men.
Why is he standing on a box?
Well, I don't know.
Is that the only way you can get the men to look up to him?
Yes. Shh.
Long hours on duty.
Look,
Lots
don't
of sleep.
shush me, mate. I haven't got all
Doing
day.
our
I've been coming
ordinary
out here
work
to ask you
during the
about
day.
the civil defence exercise on
Our
Saturday
home
afternoon.
Just have to wait, that's all.
In our spare time.
We'll soon see about that.
But always preparing for the constant threat of invasion, which is just across the Channel. Now, we've always given of our services quite freely, not looking for any reward. Indeed, any reward which we may have could only come from some higher authority up above.